It was exactly 8 years ago when I came back to Delhi NCR for college. And somehow I never left because this city, for all its chaos and contradictions, became the backdrop of my entire journey. This is where I got my first internship, my first job, my first real startup experience, and eventually the place where I started my own business. Every big milestone in my life, every risk, every win somehow happened here. And today, technically, I can leave. I have the freedom to work from anywhere, but I don't because my clients are here, my network is here, my life, in some strange way, is built around this geography, this energy. And that is the paradox of living in Delhi NCR. You absolutely want to live here. You have your friends and family. And let's not forget, we have the best food. But since the last few years, we have all thought that maybe, just maybe, we could escape this city, but we don't. Why do we call it progress if it comes with an inhaler? Everyone knows the air here is toxic. AQI 400, sometimes 500. The schools close, the flights get delayed, the lungs ache, yet no one leaves. Not the rich, not the poor, not the ambitious. Because this city, especially the one where dreams pay the highest salaries, it's a city that rewards your ambition and taxes your health. The paradox is simple. The city gives you the money to build your life and then slowly takes away that life back. Now, ideally, I should be wearing this mask during the entire video, but this is again the paradox that I can't because then I won't be able to record this video in a flow because I'm already feeling a lot of discomfort. To understand this further, let's have a look at the history of Delhi NCR. Now, this region isn't just a cluster of cities. It is one of the biggest migration magnets in the entire country. According to long-term data from the National Capital Region Planning Board, Delhi has been the single largest recipient of migrant workers for decades. Back in 1961-71, around 6.3 lakh people moved into Delhi. By 1991 to 2001, that number had almost tripled to 17.6 lakh. And in the 2 decades after that, which is 2001 to 2021, the estimates shot up even further, landing between 28 to 38 lakh migrants entering Delhi alone. And these are the only official numbers. The real story is much bigger. Students who come for college, freshers who come for their first job, aspiring founders building their first startup, blue-collar workers looking for stability, families chasing their education and healthcare. Everyone arrives with a different reason, but the pattern is the same. Delhi NCR promises opportunity at a scale most Indian cities simply can't. Roughly 1/3 of all migration into Delhi is purely for work and employment, which makes sense when you look at how aggressively this region creates jobs. In some periods in early 2016, Delhi NCR alone generated over 2.6 lakh new jobs in a single quarter, more than Mumbai, Bangalore, Pune, Hyderabad, and Chennai combined. So the influx never stops. But to understand why millions migrate to this region every decade, you have to look at how Delhi NCR became what it is today. Because none of this would have happened overnight. Delhi historically has always been the political and administrative heart of India. From the British era to post-independence planning, every government office, every ministry, every major institution was centered here. Naturally, jobs, education, bureaucracy, and the opportunity got concentrated in the capital. And people from across India moved here to be closer to power, resources, and growth. But as Delhi grew, it soon hit its limit. The city became crowded, expensive, and saturated. Businesses needed more land and more infrastructure and more flexibility. And that is when Gurgaon came into the picture. In the 70s and the 80s, Gurgaon was nothing but a farmland, but Haryana aggressively opened the region for private development, especially through companies like DLF, and suddenly Gurgaon transformed into a blank canvas for India's corporate explosion. By the mid-2000s, it became the BPO capital of India, then an IT hub, and now a startup hub. High-speed construction, global offices, malls, and expressways created a new urban magnet. Anyone chasing career growth looked at Gurgaon. Noida, on the other hand, emerged through a different path. Planned by UP government in 1976 as a satellite industrial township, Noida first attracted factories and manufacturing units. Over time, with cheaper land and structured planning, it turned into a tech and media corridor, from film studios to IT parks to massive residential societies. So, Delhi was the origin, Gurgaon became the ambition, and Noida became the alternative. And together, these three regions formed the economic engine that now draws lakhs of migrants every year, from students to workers to founders to dreamers, all looking for their chance to build something bigger. Now, to further understand why this paradox exists so much, let's look at what people love and hate about Delhi NCR. Now, the core problems that make people want to leave Delhi NCR. The number one, the obvious air pollution, the biggest trigger. Every survey done in the last few years shows the same thing. Almost every household in Delhi NCR reports at least one member facing pollution-related health issues, which is constant coughing, burning eyes, breathlessness, sinus flare-ups, low energy, recurring infections. And in multiple surveys, around 40% of residents said that they would like to leave the city because of the air quality alone. It's the number one reason people feel stuck rather than settled. Number 2. Water quality and infrastructure breakdowns. When air pollution gets headlines, water is the silent crisis in many parts of Delhi because Delhi NCR experiences poor water quality, high TDS, contamination, unreliable supply, and seasonal shortages. Now, add to that even the frequent issues like waterlogging, flooding during monsoons, unreliable drainage systems, and patchy maintenance systems, all of which directly reduce the quality of life. Number 3. High stress, long commutes, and lifestyle fatigue. People spend hours in traffic, deal with chaotic road conditions, inconsistent public transport, overcrowded spaces, construction noise, and constant urban tension. Even short distances can mean long travel times. The daily friction slowly wears people down. Number 4. Cost of living is rising faster than expected. High rents, expensive private services, health costs, air purifiers, masks, medications, schooling expenses, and overall lifestyle inflation make many residents feel that they are paying more but receiving less peace. The financial mismatch pushes many to consider alternatives. Number 5. Safety concerns and crime perception. Residents often mention concerns around theft, unsafe late night travel, cyber frauds, and general unpredictability in Delhi. Even if experiences vary, the perception alone adds to the mental load, especially for families. A very common pattern in Delhi is that no parent or even a female herself would prefer night shifts or be late out in the night, and this is something that you don't see in other cities like Mumbai or Bangalore. Now, talking about some of the biggest reasons why people love Delhi NCR. Now, the obvious reason we all know is the financial one, but let's go beyond this. One of the biggest reasons people don't leave Delhi NCR despite pollution, stress, and rising cost is its connectivity. And this isn't a small advantage, it's actually a life-changing one. Now, Delhi NCR genuinely feels like the center of the map. You are 1 hour away from most major Indian cities, a few hours from the Himalayas, 5 to 6 hours from Jaipur, Chandigarh, Agra, Rishikesh, Ludhiana. You have the country's most well-connected international airport, one of its most extensive metro systems, and expressways that connect you to half of North India. And let me tell you one shocking fact about the most talked about property of India, which is camellias. Now, the reason why camellias is the most expensive property in India today is not just because of the quality of the project itself, but the demand is not just local. You'll be surprised to know that many of the apartments that have actually been bought by folks who live in other states of India, from Punjab to Rajasthan to Gujarat to Maharashtra, every ultra HNI wants a piece of Gurgaon and camellias. And why do you think that is? All of what I just stated above. Networks, connectivity close to administration, place to set up huge offices, and this has happened when all of the problems of Delhi NCR are at its peak. Another reason that why people love Delhi is its massive infrastructure and healthcare facilities. It was only a week ago when I was sitting at my cousin's place and somebody came from Moradabad, a small town in UP roughly 3 to 4 hours away from Delhi, to their home. Now, as usual, the discussion of pollution came up because that's the talk of the town. But you know what that person who came from Moradabad said next perfectly defines the great paradox. He was talking about how whenever any medical emergency happens at their home, for all investigations or procedures like PET scan for cancer, angiography, etc., we need to rush to Delhi in a heartbeat because even if those treatments are available there, they can't trust it. The kind of infrastructure we are used to now is something we'll all have a very hard time to let go of if we wanted to shift to mountains or a small city to lead a city-free life. Now, another interesting thing that makes me even more frustrating about Delhi is that it's not just the fault of people of Delhi NCR that they are facing this. It is just cursed with the geographical location which makes it the epicenter for harboring pollution specifically during the peak winter months. And also another frustrating part, and it's not that the Delhi is the only place which is to be blamed. Mumbai or Bangalore are actually not any good either, because Mumbai is super congested and is on track to become as polluted as Delhi, and Bangalore's weather and AQI is super great, but you'll be spending half your life in traffic. Most Indian metro cities are slowly becoming inhabitable for several reasons. So largely, we are all compromising in one way or another for better opportunities and money. Now coming back to Delhi NCR once again. Now I personally believe despite all kinds of problems with Delhi, pollution is the biggest trigger, and the real question is if this can be solved or not. Can it be cured? Well, let's find out. Well, the short answer is yes, and history has already shown us how. When you live in Delhi NCR long enough, hopelessness becomes normal. People shrug and say things like, "Ye pollution ka kuch nahi ho sakta," but that is not true. Delhi's air is terrible, yes, but it is not uniquely terrible in human history. Other cities have lived through the same nightmare, sometimes worse, and they did fix it. The difference wasn't science, the difference was the political will, coordination, and execution. So let me share a case study which is of Beijing in China. Now, a decade ago, Beijing was the global poster child of pollution. AQI 500 to 600 was really common. Schools were closed, people lived in masks. The world called it the air apocalypse. Then China did something extraordinary. So, number one, the Air Pollution Prevention and Control Action Plan. In 2013, China launched a formal 5-year national action plan. Now, I'm stating this that it was a national action plan, not just a state plan. Beijing was given hard targets of PM 2.5 reduction. Nearby industrial regions were also induced because the government understood something that Delhi still struggles with. That pollution is not a city problem, it is a regional airshed problem. Within 5 years, Beijing slashed PM 2.5 by more than 1/3. Nationally, China reduced PM 2.5 by 40 to 50% in about 7 years. But what exactly did they do? Number one, they shut down or relocated coal plants. Now, coal-fired power plants near cities were closed or pushed far out. Households were moved from coal to gas and electric heating. Number two, industrial relocation and cleanup. Dirty industries, smelters, cement plants, kilns were moved out of the population-dense regions. Those that stayed had strict emission caps and cleaner tech mandates. Number three, vehicle emission reforms. Stricter tall pipe norms, cleaner fuel standards, and restrictions on older vehicles. Public transport expansion on a massive scale. Number 4. Construction dust crackdown. Regulated construction sites enforced penalties for uncovered material, mandated dust suppression systems. Now, one of the huge problems in Delhi NCR region is its construction, because a lot of construction does not happen as per the standard code, which means that most of these construction sites are not following the regular norm of maintaining the decency of following the regular standards that are to be maintained to avoid the pollution that comes out of it. Number 5, extreme accountability. Now, local administrators were rated and promoted based on pollution matrix. Real-time monitors were placed across cities. Citizens could see pollution data publicly. Now, the impact of doing all of this was that life expectancy in Beijing is estimated to have improved by several years if the reductions hold. Air quality is far from perfect, but nothing like the 2013 hellscape. And this is the single most important lesson for NCR. Rapid improvement is possible, not theoretical, not hypothetical, it is actually proven. So is the NCR problem really curable? If you look at the data, China cut its national PM 2.5 by 40 to 50% in just about 7 years. Beijing in particular slashed PM 2.5 by around 1/3 in just 5 years. London went from a deadly coal smog to clean air laws and smokeless zones. LA went from burning eyes and toxic air to far lower smog peaks via aggressive vehicle and fuel standards. And even today, new global data shows that India and China are both improving, though from very bad baselines. India's PM 2.5 dropped 7% between 23 and 24, while China is almost halved since 2013. So yes, NCR is absolutely curable in principle. The technology exists, the policy templates exist, the health benefits are proven, but what we don't have is a single decision maker for the NCR airshed. The political courage to say growth without breathable air is not growth. So when we talk about Delhi NCR's air, we shouldn't say ये तो इंडिया का प्रॉब्लम है, कुछ नहीं हो सकता. We should rather say ये गवर्नेंस का प्रॉब्लम है और दुनिया ने ऑलरेडी इसका सोल्यूशन दिखा दिया है. And that is where your broader message ties in. Until that collective will shows up across states, across parties, your only defense as an individual is to protect your health as much as possible and aim for the kind of financial freedom where you can choose where you live, where you stay, how much of this air you're willing to tolerate. Because the sad truth is, the solution exists at the policy level, but whether it is implemented in your lifetime, that is still an open question.